what's going on, everybody? I'm just gonna make a quick video. I think the last time I made a video was, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago or something like that. I said I want to try to do a better job of being a little bit more consistent and active on my YouTube channel. So I'm just gonna talk about real quick that there's power in music, because that's what a lot of my material has been about, is talking about music and just a lot of these artists and these celebrities, the agenda that they push. And I mentioned in some of my songs and some of these videos about how these artists sell their souls and so on and so forth. That's another video, another idea I have for a video here pretty quick, is I want to go and grab some lyrics of some popular artists and just break some of the lyrics down, because I don't want to just be the type of person that says, well, such and such is pushing the agenda, or they sold their souls. I want people to understand. Maybe some of you that are watching right now, maybe you agree with what it is that I'm saying. Maybe you're already aware, but we still have a lot of people that really like these celebrities and put these celebrities on a pedestal, and they don't quite understand what we mean whenever we say that these celebrities have sold their souls. You got a lot of people that think it's just a conspiracy theory. So I want to make sure that anytime I say something in a song, or I have an idea, or I present a thought, I want to have some sort of proof, or give you something that you can go and research and look up yourself. It's not just a thought that I'm having. I'm not just putting stuff out there. There is a lot of disinformation that's out there, and I do think that sometimes we can overanalyze things, but a lot of stuff, there's a lot of validity to. Like when these artists say that they've sold their souls, one, they said that in their music. A lot of them just straight up say that. And then you got to look at the imagery and symbolism that exists within their music, that exists within these movies, their cover art, whether that be straight up 666 or an upside down cross or a pentagram, so on and so forth. And then you got to look at the agenda that they're pushing. A lot of these artists, the Black community, you go look at the artists that are most popular, guys like Gunna, guys like Baby, different type of dudes, Lil Baby. These are the guys that are at the top right now. Meg Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. And what are they talking about? Glorifying the street life, or showing off their bodies, so on and so forth. Things that are detrimental to the mind, especially the minds of the youth. That's who people look up to, especially young people, and especially in the Black community. It's a lot of the reason why the Black community is in a state of dilapidation, because we put these people on a pedestal and they're pushing an agenda. All right, whether or not they're actually worshiping Satan, which I believe that, I think that most of these celebrities are, but whether they're actually into worshiping him or not, they're still pushing that agenda. So I want to actually present some of their lyrics and do a better job of pointing out the symbolism, which I post about that quite often on my social media, my Instagram, my Facebook, so on and so forth. Talk about it in my music, but I actually want to make a video where I'm reading out the lyrics and breaking it down for people that don't quite understand, or that need just more proof. But you got a lot of people that still, doesn't matter what kind of proof you show them, they still will try to deny it or say it's just a lyric or it's a conspiracy theory. But real quick, I want to talk about one of my personal accounts, and then I'll talk about an experience of my friend, or I'll talk about him first, and I'll talk about my personal experience last, as it relates to music having power. And it does affect you in the spiritual realm, whether you realize it or not. Music is spiritual. All right, I was talking with my friend about a year ago, and he put it to me very simply. He said, Satan was the angel of music. So why would he not be using his power to attack people today? And it makes perfect sense whenever you think about it. When you think about it like that, it makes perfect sense. Okay, so I'll start out with an experience that my friend told me about he said to me, and he's a producer, all right? He's a beat maker. I'm not going to say his name, but he's a good guy. He said that he had entered a competition for making beats, and he won the competition. And the label, okay, the company, the label, they had congratulated him on winning that competition, and they were going to sign him. Now he read the contract. The rep, the PR, the representative, the advertising dude, the marketing dude, whatever, the publishing dude, the rep was explaining the contract to him, and he was letting him know the agreements, and he just straight up told him, yeah, everything that you see, what's being run, he just let him know that the Freemasons run everything that you see, which is some of the stuff that I be saying in my music, that I be posting about on social media, but people don't believe it. But that's what my friend said to me. So he had that experience, and just the rep was explaining to him about him having to push that agenda. And you'll see it a lot with these artists. Again, maybe some of them aren't for real like worshiping Satan, like really Satanists, but they've agreed to push that agenda, having the all-seeing eye, so on and so forth, this demonic symbolism in their songs and on their cover art, in their imagery. They are pushing that symbolism. They've agreed to push that agenda. Okay. And that's what they were trying to get my friend to do, but he disagreed with it. He turned it down. So he didn't sign with the label, and he's not pushing that agenda. But they straight up told him that. My personal experience is this, and I'm going to try to be as quick as I can. So this was about a year ago. It was more than a year ago. I'm just getting started, and I'm still really new making music, but I'm just getting started. I may have had like 1 or 2 songs out, maybe. I think I had like 1 or 2 songs out, I think. A couple songs out. So I'm with, so I've been doing research, because like I said, whenever I talk about these things, when I make these songs, I try to do research, and I want to be as accurate as possible. I don't want to just take the first thing that I heard and run with it. I want to have, scripture to back it up. I want to have, hey, this celebrity has done ABC. This is why I believe that they're pushing an agenda. This is why I believe they're a Satanist. This is why I believe they sold their soul. I want to have some sort of research that I can go off of. It's not just conspiracy theories and wild imaginings. All right. So I go do my research, and I'm wanting to start talking about more. I'm wanting to talk more about these celebrities and these musicians, how they have sold their souls. So I'm wanting to do some more research into that, and I want to talk more about that. I'm working on ideas for a song, and I say, okay, let me go to like Beyonce, because she's a really big name. So I go to YouTube, and I start like, researching like backmasking and all that kind of stuff. And backmasking is just basically, you take a song and it gets played backwards, and a lot of times there could be hidden messages in the song. That's what backmasking is. So I pull up one of Beyonce's songs, which is Beautiful Nightmare. It's a very popular song, and I listened to it backwards. And whenever I did that, I felt very uncomfortable. But she was saying some very demonic stuff, and she was praising Lucifer. And as soon as I did that, I felt very uncomfortable, and I just felt this, and I've never felt this way before in my house. I've never felt this, period, but I felt this darkness in my house. And it's almost like, whenever you can feel that someone comes up next to you, you don't see them, but you can feel them if you're not looking, but you know that someone's next to you. It's like, the atmosphere changes. So that's how it felt. It felt dark as soon as I played it backwards, and I felt just this heavy presence, this heavy dark being next to me, and I couldn't see anything, but it didn't feel nice. It felt very dark, and I didn't feel safe in my house. I couldn't sleep for the next 2 days. Every time I would try to go to sleep, I would close my eyes and I would sleep for a little bit, but then I would see like, demons in my sleep, and I would wake up, and I would try to go back to sleep, and it just was rinse and repeat. I couldn't go back to sleep. I was seeing demons whenever I would try to go to sleep, whenever I would close my eyes, and I just felt very uncomfortable and unsafe in my house, and I never felt that way before. So fast forward, night went on for 2 days, so I was tired. But fast forward 2 days, and my friend, this is my friend who got me doing music in the first place, who kind of pushed me to start doing it. Um, my friend's daughter was having a birthday party at prime time, so I go hang out with them for a little bit. We're bowling. I'm having a good time. It took my mind off of just the darkness I was feeling in my house. I'm having a good time. And so they're playing music, right? They're playing music, having a good time. And wouldn't you know that one of the songs that comes on is Beyonce's Beautiful Nightmare. Now, of course, it didn't play backwards. It was playing like it normally would, but still, that, again, I was having a good time. When I heard that song come on after a few hours, it was like, man, I just can't escape. And I felt like the enemy just was messing with my mind, because what are the chances of all the songs they could play, they play Beautiful Nightmare? And that song, it's not a new song. It's been out for years. So what are the chances that they play that song? So I thought, man, the enemy's messing with me. And I was having a good time, and it kind of just took me out of the mood. And it just was like, man, I got to go back home, and I got to face this darkness, whatever it is. And so fast forward, we leave prime time. I go hang out with my friend at his house and his family, and it's just he and I talking. And he had a 3D printer, and he would always print stuff off of it. I didn't tell him nothing that was going on in my house. I didn't tell him nothing about playing the song backwards and none of that. But he gave me a cross that he had printed. It's a cross that he made from his 3D printer. I should have brought it with me, but I'll show it in like the next video, Lord's will. But it's a cross that says Jesus on it with a crown on the top, and he gave that to me. And I didn't tell him nothing about what I had been experiencing. I didn't tell him nothing about playing the song backwards. I didn't mention none of that, how I was feeling in my house. He just gave that to me. And when he gave it to me, I felt safe. And when I finished hanging out with him, I went home. As soon as I got home, which was about 3 in the morning, which I've heard that's called the witching hour, I believe. If someone can confirm that, or let me know if that's something that I'm making up. But I believe they said I've heard that's called the witching hour. The time when a lot of, I guess, witches, demonic spirits might be active. People could be casting spells, so on and so forth. That's the witching hour. So it was about 3 in the morning when I got back home. As soon as I got home, I got on my knees and I prayed, and I asked the Lord to forgive me and to close any doors that I may have opened unknowingly. And I had that cross in my hand while I was praying. And while I was praying, I felt a warm hand touch me on my left arm and like on my elbow, and I opened my eyes and I looked, and there was nothing there. But I just know that I felt safe. And after that, I didn't feel that feeling of darkness anymore. And I haven't felt that since then. And that cross is one of my most, prized possessions, really, if not the most prized possession that I have. And yeah, that's how I knew after that, which I always believed that was real, but that was my like actual experience with opening doors in the spiritual realm based off of music. So you got to be careful with what it is that you're listening to. That's why I'm so adamant about being careful what kind of content we put out there with the words that we use. Even the beats themselves have a feel to it. Music makes you feel a certain way. When you're sad, we tend to listen to sad, depressing songs. When we get ready to go to the gym, we listen to songs that get us amped up, pumped up. You know what I'm saying? So the beats themselves make you feel a certain way, even without the lyrics. So when I'm going through looking for beats, and I'm trying to come up with song ideas, certain beats, I'll avoid them if they make me feel a certain way. Certain beats have a secular type of sound feel to it. Like it might have like that club kind of appeal to it, or you know what I'm saying, make you want to bounce a little bit, or it just has that secular kind of feel to it. Like I like to make love songs, but I don't mention anything sexual in it. some beats that you hear that they make you think of sex only, really. And I'll avoid those types of beats because it's very tempting to make that type of song uh, uh, a dance song or a club banger or something like that. So I'd rather not tempt myself, so I stay away from those type of beats. You see what I'm saying? So music has power in it. The beats themselves have power in it. And I just wanted to give y'all a quick example, a personal experience that I've had being affected by music. And you have to be careful about what you listen to, and it does open doors whether you believe it or not. And that was my experience, was listening to Beyonce's song backwards and me not feeling safe in my house and just feeling this heaviness, this darkness. But whenever I prayed and asked the Lord to close any doors that may have opened, it went away and I felt safe. And I know what I saw and I know what I felt, and I haven't felt that since then. So I haven't listened to any songs backwards. I'm not gonna do that anymore. But I try to be very careful about what it is that I listen to. So yeah, I just want to give y'all some quick experiences real quick. My personal experience, the experience that my friend had. Like I said, the next video I want to do, I want to actually have like some lyrics printed out, and I'll kind of read them off and break them down and explain some of the lyrics that some of these musicians have, and just get y'all to see what we're talking about, people like myself or Devin Worlds, what we mean whenever we say that these celebrities are pushing an agenda. It's not that we hate them as people. They're very talented, they're very gifted, but you can't put these people on a pedestal and make them your idol. We can't allow them to lead us to a burning end. I'm not saying, hey, never listen to music or whatever. I don't really listen to music like I used to, the secular stuff. Every once in a while I'll check in, like The Game put out a diss record against the Eminem, which I think is very underrated, by the way. I think people just put Eminem on a pedestal, but that's a topic for another day. I checked that out, and it was cool. I think they're both pushing an agenda, but I can appreciate the music for what it is, as far as being a rapper and a lyricist and all that. The metaphors, the rhyme schemes and all that, I can appreciate that. But I still recognize that they're pushing an agenda, and I don't put nobody on a pedestal. I'll still call it out whenever I see it. You know what I'm saying? Just be careful, and don't let these people be your idol. Don't worship these people. But I'll catch y'all next time.